the cocaine out.
Is this a podcast, or are we arguing about video games on this?
Let me tell you about how the Mayans invented cell phones.
Welcome everybody to the SideQuest Game of the Yeet 2018 discussion and regular podcast.
No, I don't like that.
No. I'm Dolly Domofsky. Joining me is the one, the only Aaron.
Hey, what's up?
And the one, the only Tom. Sorry, I'm HQ videoing as well. You got
your
me
HQ
doing this
videoing?
shit too.
Yeah, both of us are.
I'm pretty invested in this bag of Chester's puff corn that I'm fucking down on real hard.
All right, so I have a suggestion, and I'm just going to throw it out there. And I mean, we could wrap this up in 30 seconds. Spider-Man Game of the Year.
Nah,
it's not God of War.
It's not God of War.
No, I figured it out, but we'll have a good discussion.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you, the Game of the Year is the Yokan Uni portable vaporizer battery. It's a fine product sold wherever vape products are sold.
That's not true. I have the last say on that, and I haven't stocked it yet.
It has a it has like an iris that you could tighten around your vape cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit, Dolly.
John Yokan called me up, and he was just like, you got to stock this because we're not making the Evolve Plus or the Evolve Plus XL anymore. I'm like, I want those, though.
Welcome to Vape Nation.
Nah, man, this is great because I can smoke it in front of a cop, and then he doesn't even look at me.
That's true.
Anyway, video games, am I right?
Video games. First of all, Tom's coming in from the mood cave over there.
The vape game, yeah. So I've been getting home. That's it. I got there. Well, I'm in the middle of my 2 weeks off at the end of the year, and so my ritual has been: I get home, I close the blinds, I got the CBD cream that I just rub all over my body. I start with my feet and I work my way up. I get my hands, I get my neck, all that shit.
Is it the 120 ml bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sell that.
So I rub that stuff all over my body, just get perfectly numb. Think about aliens for a few minutes, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Then I just smoke a bunch of weed. And then I play Subnautica, and I thought, hey, what would make that experience better than getting one of those cool lights that people put on their house for the holidays, and instead putting it in my bedroom and making it blue and green.
So funny that you mentioned Subnautica. Christmas Eve at like 2 a.m. I'm just getting ready for bed. And all of a sudden on my door, all I hear is bang, 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 bang.
It's Santa.
Like,
he's fucking lost.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I open the door, and it's my buddy who's a marine engineer. So he's out to sea like 9 months, 10 months a year. And he's just standing out there kind of doing one of these with a beer in his hand. So I'm like, what's up, dude? Come on in. So he comes in and immediately starts telling me about how he dropped $3,300 on a new PC and bought himself a Vive, and starts telling me about how incredible VR is and like how all these games he's playing. And then he starts telling me about Subnautica, and he's just like, dude, you got to play it. I've got a phobia of deep water, which is why I haven't played Subnautica already. And he's just like, nope, February, I'm going out to sea for 3 weeks. I'm coming back, and you're gonna come up to my house and you're gonna play Subnautica in VR. And I'm just like, this is a terrible idea.
Yo, when you get down to that deep water, that dark water, it's fucking terrifying.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So I got it for PC. What was it, free on the Epic Game Store or something like that? But you know that PSVR demo disc that comes with the PSVR, the VR Worlds demo disc thing.
Yeah.
And like one of it is it takes you down, like you see like a shark swim by and like some jellyfish or something. I took it to the office, and one of our engineers, who's like, he's an amazing engineer.
Dally, you see this fucking question?
I lost. I already fucking lost. I lost on the Cindy Lou Who one. I accidentally hit 4 instead of 2. Which was that one? The Bismarck one?
No, it's in the song Jolene. What color was her hair?
Was it brown?
I fucking don't know. I don't listen to music.
I don't remember. I shut it off when I lost.
It was red. I guessed it right.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, and so he very low key guy, even though he's a great modernish engineer. He had moved here straight from from India, and so he's just kind of getting into American culture. Of course, I throw fucking VR at him. He puts this thing on, immediately starts freaking out when you're heading down under 5 feet of water. Just loses his mind and starts screaming. Poor guy starts screaming at the top of his lungs. The security guard that was just happening to walk by the building or walk by our room came running into the VR rig room that I had set up and thought that bloody murder was happening. But the poor guy, I'm like, just take the headset off, dude. You're not underwater.
You can escape.
That's awesome.
You can escape.
I mean, that reaction is why I don't want to fucking play Subnautica in VR.
This is why I want to play Subnautica in VR. But now I gotta get a Vive, or I gotta get the PSVR hooked up to my PC to try it.
All right, let's talk about some video games.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so it's gonna be a good show because I'm breaking out the Blanton's, which is just some fucking. This is the original single barrel bourbon whiskey. This is some good stuff. It's got an even little horse, a guy and a horse up top. So I'm breaking this out because we're gonna talk games of the year. If we have time, we'll talk about some news, but there has been zero news in the last week. I
didn't even look this week.
PewDiePie said the N word again.
Okay, yeah. That's a gamer word. It's okay. It's a gamer word. Lord, haven't you guys ever said bad words when you're in the heat of? Okay, whatever.
Not fucking that word.
Not that word. No way. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about game of the year. And it's been a good year for video games. And usually we do the write-ups, which there's a backlog of them ready to be edited and posted, and it's my fault that I haven't posted any of them.
Dolly still hasn't written his, so I couldn't go into the
I haven't written mine.
He was going to talk about.
Sam hasn't written his yet, and I think Katie's still going to be working on one too. So we may even get Rexy to do one. Who knows? But
do we want to talk about mine and Tom's?
I want to hear about Eco.
Yeah. Go ahead. So yeah, we could talk about yours. I'll mention mine because they'll probably be on the list anyway. So
go diving right into Grub Watch 2018.
Grub Watch.
So I played Eco basically on a whim. There's a crew of us in the Rebel FM Discord. And every now and again somebody will say, "All right, everybody get in on this game." And right now I think the game everyone's playing is Foxhole. That I think it's like a top-down MMO World War II shooter thing, and everybody jumped on that and they all play together. But when Eco came out, one of the guys in there had been like, "Hey, I want to get a crew together for this thing, and it might not be fun, but I want to play it." And 2 or 3 people were looking at it and they were like, all right. And I happened to have, I think it was on sale or something like that at that point. It was the day it launched. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll get in on this. And then 3 or 4 days into it, Jeff also got into it. And I think at the peak, we had maybe 20 people, 24 people or something all playing in this one server. And what the game is, it's kind of like Minecraft, but it doesn't look as nice as Minecraft.
But it also lets you explore the horrors of capitalism.
It really does. So it's called Eco, and what it does is it integrates learning about economies and ecologies and that kind of shit. And so it's like Minecraft. You got 30 days from when the server starts. There's a giant fucking meteor coming for the planet. And you have to start from absolutely nothing.
For real?
Yeah, straight up.
That's how they handle a lore reason for how servers like that wipe out every month.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You can see it in the sky, as the planet's orbiting. You look up and there's a giant meteor that's getting bigger every day with a timer on it.
All right.
But so you basically it's a survival game.
Majora's Mask is what you're telling me.
Kind of. I bet there's a mod out there already that turns it into the moon from Majora's Mask. But so you got to tech up to start from nothing, basically, to get up to basically building a giant laser that can take this thing out. But the way that they make it difficult is that for every skill you learn, the next skill or different skill gets progressively more, exponentially more expensive. And the points you need to buy those skills get harder and harder to get. So basically, everybody has to specialize in a different direction. So, somebody's really good at woodworking, and so they can make bases, and you use bases to get like rested experience, which means you get those skill points faster, and then somebody techs into furniture to get more of that, like in your house, because you get bonuses based on your decoration, and then somebody techs into stoneworking, and they can make tools, and somebody techs into carts and shit like that.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Can someone spec in a way that they can make a currency system for the entire thing, and then control that currency system and essentially run the company store for Eco, and holding all of the people below him as his slaves to this economy that he has created and is benefiting from?
So Jeff teched in such a way that he was the only person who could make carts, which means if you wanted to move mass amounts of resources, like say from a mine, you want to get a lot of stone and not have to carry it by hand, like block at a time, you'd have to rent a cart from Jeff, who was building an economy out of grub bucks, which was his own currency, and he could give as much of those out as he wanted to. And then a few other people who had teched into like food and shit started doing their own bucks, so there were Zach bucks for a while. And then another dude who played it kind of like I played it just walked his character to the other side of the planet and started building on his own with, like, I think him and one other person, and then secretly made a mint. And when you make a mint, it basically kills all of the other currencies. So there was like this massive,
that's pretty badass.
There was like an economic collapse, and like everybody started fighting with each other. In the meantime, everybody's doing this. I'm just building. I'm playing it like Minecraft. So I'm not buying anything from everyone. I'm digging like an underwater cave to turn into this giant fucking underground base, which means I've got tons of stone, which everybody needs like to make bricks and stuff like that for like, you know, the late game structures. I'm just giving this shit away. And so people are like giving me free food. They're still trading with me while all this economy stuff is going on. At the same time, when people aren't online, I'm gathering all the shit that everybody's buying automatically in their stores, and I'm just hoarding the currencies that they're putting out and not spending any of it. So there's a point where I controlled something like 60 or 70% of all the different currencies in the game, and so there just wasn't enough money.
I'm not an economist, but I have a question. If you were to go and spend all that money,
that's, by the way, a great way to start off any conversation. Yeah, I'm not an economist,
but if you were to go and spend all of that money and put all of that excess money into a system that has policed itself, would you then crash that economy?
I would. The problem is you can only spend as much as people are selling. So I mathed it out at one point very near the end of the game. I could have gone to every store and bought every single thing that everybody had crafted or was selling in bulk, and still only put like a dent into my hoard, like maybe a fifth of it.
How long did it take for the society to like eat itself alive?
So we were maybe a week in when all the economy stuff started and people just started fighting each other. But we were still playing the game. Like we were still teching up and coming to like begrudging alliances. And then when this other guy went to the other side of the planet and started his own mint and started making his own legitimate currency, things kind of kicked off in a pretty bad way. And then by the end of it, we were like 3 days away from the meteor hitting. And it was a little iffy if we were going to get to the end game tech to build the laser. And then we just barely got there. We got there with like, I want to say it was maybe 12 hours to spare. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we shot the lasers and they destroyed the meteor. And we basically rushed it. So we weren't sure if we were going to be able to generate enough power to fire the lasers a second time. And I think you could miss if you shot them when the meteor wasn't in the sky.
Okay.
But yeah, so we successfully did it. And then we rolled back the server to like 6 hours previous, and then sped the server up so that the meteor hit, just to see what would happen. And the other system that's in this game is it models pollution. It's so good. It models things like pollution and like extinction. So if you hunt all the deer, there's no more deer. Like they're just dead. You killed them all. And if you're like if you're drilling oil or whatever and you have an oil spill, like that oil is there. It's a physical thing that's just in water and on the ground and shit. Or if like there are certain things that when you're mining them, there are certain techniques that produce like toxic byproducts and you got to put them somewhere. And so people were just dumping them like on Jeff's lawn basically to poison his house and like in the water and stuff like that. So it was killing all the fish. And so when the meteor hits, the server doesn't end. It's just you have an annihilated world and you can keep going.
Oh, that's awesome.
Uh-huh. But yeah, so we played that game and we made it to the end and we all learned something about ourselves. Except for me, I guess, because I didn't really engage with their trade wars. I was just very, very quietly trying to subvert it. Yeah, and that game was kind of incredible. It doesn't look the best. It plays very jankily. The systems that are in it, they don't really teach you how to use. Like there's a system of laws in that game where you can say, all right, at this square on these coordinates, nobody can cut trees.
Oh,
and if the majority of the players who have voting rights on the server say yes, this is a law, it just prevents anybody from cutting trees. You can't. It's a law now, so nobody can do it. Like if you try, it just doesn't let you. So we had people where you can vote for somebody for mayor, and they can make those laws. And so Jeff would be like campaigning with like free carts and shit like that. And it would always come down to like 1 or 2 votes because people really didn't want Jeff to be it, and I would just quietly vote for him, just to keep him in his mayorship, just because I thought it was funny. So I was just constantly over the entire game, just really just getting people fighting, and it was amazing.
That's totally the way to do it. Totally.
But it's just like, so if you listen to this story and then you go and read, Jeff's Game of the Year stuff, he's linked to the original story that he was telling on Twitter as this was going on. And it's like, just compare my story to his story, and they're two wildly different stories. Like,
oh yeah, King Grub over there.
You could think that they're almost 2 different games that we're talking about, and it's just incredible. And I think we're thinking about doing it again.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
So hopefully, maybe this.
I wish I was there to see that shit.
Oh man, I mean, you could buy it. It's only like $30.
Oh, maybe I will. I'll be down for that.
I might be leaning into that too. Yeah. Holy shit.
So,
yeah. All right.
I'm looking at the list.
So that game, by the way, that game came out this year, right? Is what you're saying?
Eco came out, I want to say, like first week January. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's still in early access.
Okay.
Which was weird because I really wanted. I really wanted this game on my list, but I knocked off 2 other games from my list because they were both also early access. And just in my head, this made sense because of how much game there was, and the other 2 were not quite there. So I don't really know, like, if it counts or not. I'm saying it counts.
What I am saying right now is in the chat, YouTube user Jeffrey Grubb says, vote for Jeff, and also Game of the Year.
Oh man, I forgot. I don't want to take away from Jeff's story, but the best parts were you can put signs on the carts, but because Jeff owned the carts, he could make all the signs on the carts. And so he just had like anti-union slogans on his carts. So as people are walking into the mine,
the true face of Grubb.
Oh, it was incredible. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Oh man, that game was amazing. That game was incredible.
So, I'm like totally interested in this game now.
I'm just gonna throw our, like, Dolly, do you have 5 games picked out that you
I do.
Your list?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw out, because Aaron and I already have our list written, what those 5 are, just so everything's out on the table.
Sure.
So Aaron, it's Eco, Spider-Man, Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Far Cry 5, and Monster Hunter World. And mine are Tetris Effect, Yakuza, Destiny 2, Dragon Ball Fighters, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Those are your 5. Wow.
Sorry, was that a stroke, or did you just call that Red Dead Redemption?
I meant to call it Rad Dad Redemption. I'm also very stoned.
I like Redemption though, because it's like, you know,
so like we had to record Red Dead 1 at one point in the office, and we like just went to GameStop and got a copy that didn't have like a case, and it was just like a green case, and we just wrote in Sharpie like Rad Dad on the front of it. That's just like what I refer to it as. But yeah, so those are my 5. What are your 5, Dolly?
Okay, my 5. So did you read?
I just want to see if there's any overlap. That's why.
Did you read Zach's yet by any chance?
Oh, do you want me to read? I just did. I skipped his because he's not here. Do you want to know his?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you give me 1 second and vamp amongst yourselves so I pull it up.
Yeah, just pull it out. Pull it out. Drop it on there.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right. Well, he's doing
here. We
that.
go.
How about Spider-Man as game of the year?
RimWorld,
Mm-hmm.
The Missing,
Mm-hmm.
Paratropic, The Haunted Island, a frog detective game, and Old School RuneScape.
Sorry, whose list is this?
Zach.
So funny thing about RimWorld, I think I have to double check, but I think it's like 2,000 hours in that game, and I played it so much because I got it like as soon as it came out, like way back in the early access. I didn't play it all this year and totally forgot about it. So I'm glad it's on somebody's list because that's really a really addicting game.
For Dolly, it's Link's crossball training.
Link's. Is there a part 2 yet?
Dead Space
Extraction.
2. What are your games, Dalibor?
All right, my games. Obviously, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yeah. Nerd.
I looked at Ryan Gann's fucking hours, and he has, I shit you not, he's got like 85 hours of.
That's more than I put into Red Dead.
Yeah, he's playing that in class, right?
He's playing it in class because I'll hop on. I've been off, on and off a few of the days over the last few weeks when I know Ryan has been like at class and he's on and he's playing. So there are legitimately not that many hours in the day. You must be playing like in the teacher lounge or something, whatever.
He's like, all right, guys, here's this exam. I'm gonna kick it at this desk.
Yeah. Anyways, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is a hella good game.
I mean, it's a Smash Brothers game, so how good?
It's Smash Brothers. It's fantastic. I'm also gonna throw in. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I can't I make fun of like Nintendo just because of my personal bias against the Switch. I really like the Smash Brothers games, and I'm sure that if I played this new one, I would really like it. But
I'll say like the funniest thing or the funnest thing as an uncle, and you'll know this, Tom. You'll get this feeling soon. Is when you get your nephews, my 2 little nephews, they're 4 and 2, and they were playing Smash Brothers on Christmas Day. And I handed them.
Did any of them floss when they won?
No, thankfully. I handed them, my daughter flosses though, so she handles that. I handed them the Joy-Con, 1 Joy-Con each, because I figured they're not going to be able to handle, dual analog stick attack stuff. And I said, here, literally just, oh, cool. Is that the HQ?
Yes.
There you go, words. And I said, just push buttons. One of you will win. Just push buttons. Uncle Dolly says, just push buttons. Neither of them knew what the hell they were doing. One of them was jumping off one side of the stage, and the other one was just standing there staring and was holding the Joy-Con upside down. I love these 2 boys because it frustrated the heck out of me, and it made me want to slap the controllers out of their beautiful little hands, but I'd be the jerk uncle who did it. But it's like when you see somebody doing something and they're not doing it correctly, you want to get in their face about it, but they're my nephews, and I sure as hell shouldn't get in their face about it. But I was like, it was eating me up inside to watch them play this game wrong, and I'm like, no, just literally just push up and you'll jump. Yeah, Smash Brothers, lots of fun. I've got probably about 25 hours into it now, and I've unlocked almost every character. I think I've got 1 or 2. I've been playing some of the Spirit Mode stuff. The Gardens Between, which I loved. I first saw that at PAX East earlier this year. Freaking love that game. Just really nice time forward and backward, fast forward rewinding mechanic. So that's good. The Dad of War is on there because I find myself just getting lost in those environments are phenomenal. Dead Cells, which is just old school. Freaking loved it. Classic style game, and you can fuck up as much as you want and keep playing. And then this is the toughest part for me was I've played like bits and pieces of a bunch of different games, and I couldn't pick my 5th one. So I ended up with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I wanted to play more Tetris Effect and Beat Saber. I only played a little bit of that. Astrobot is not good. People need to stop talking about that as a good game. The camera on that makes me absolutely nauseous, and I don't get nauseous on VR games. But so I surprisingly played a lot more VR towards the tail end of this year than I thought I was going to. I've been a VR is dead guy for a while now. So yeah, I wanted to put Tetris Effect or Beat Saber on there, but I didn't play enough of those, even though I freaking they're both pretty phenomenal. I did play a few hours of Spider-Man, and really not enough to like do even a hot take on it, except that it's pretty dope what I have played of it. So,
and you read my review of it.
I read your review of it. There were a bunch of games I missed, like Red Dead, Dragon. I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan, and I always buy Dragon Quest games on the day they're released, even if they're reissues. To the fact that I couldn't play Dragon Quest 11 because trying to get access to my PS4. I'm just going to buy a separate Blu-ray player, by the way, that way I can move my PS4 up in my office. Or I'll just wait till the Switch version. I think they're going to have an announcement on the Switch version on like January 1st or 2nd or something, right? Or is it maybe Monday? I'm not sure. Monster Hunter World, I still have it in the freaking wrapping paper. Dragon Ball FighterZ, I bought the Switch version. I got that on Black Friday. I haven't opened it. And then The Missing, I really want to jump into that because it's just,
I heard that game is really good. I would never have given that game a second look, but everybody is telling me to play it.
Which one?
It's the Sweary's. I think it's The Missing.
Oh yeah.
That's supposed to be pretty dope. The game that I probably spent the most hours on, if you look at my Steam library,
what is this gonna be?
Is Idle Champions, and I know that's not from 2017, but that's SideQuest.
Well, I mean, this isn't about games for 2017. It's about games for 2018. But go on.
I know, but that's the one game that I just found myself going. I'm like, yeah, I could be playing like Forsaken, Destiny 2, but I just fucking love clicking. Just 40 more thousand clicks, and I got the achievement where I get 1% more attack.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit here and click for the next 3 hours.
Yep, I did that. I spent a whole shift at work one day being like, I'm only like 17,000 clicks out. Yep. All right.
Tap 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 tap. That's that whole freaking game. And I've been on the same quest for so freaking long, probably for like a few weeks now, because monetarily I've hit like the slow peak. That game, the way it's set up, I mean, you know this, Aaron. I'm not sure, but you can fuck things up really badly if you don't set your
just retire and start again.
Yeah, it might be the easiest to retire and start again because monetarily the money is no longer as fast as the upgrades in order to beat like certain aspects of this level. So, yeah, those are my 5, and then a few games that I missed along the way that I really wanted to get into. So I shouldn't talk to them too much. But so Idle Champions is our game of 2017 in 2018.
I'm cool with that.
All right. Game over. That's it. That's another podcast.
That's it.
Okay, so yeah, those are our games. What freaking stuff? Like, Aaron is not a God of War guy. All right, Aaron.
No, I hated that game.
But it's so fucking good. Tom, what's your?
I liked it. I remember nothing from it except the end credit reveal. Like that's literally.
I haven't gotten to that part. I mean, I'm still.
I remember nothing.
Yeah, I think that's looking at all the games on my list. I don't remember any of those games, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So it's Spider-Man.
So shit, I didn't see. So Zach doesn't have a single AAA game on it, which is fine. I think Zach likes to play a lot of the cool sort of underground PC stuff. And I don't know. I didn't see anything from Sam, although Sam's just gonna pick Forza and Let's Go Pikachu and Smash Brothers and Mario Tennis, and I think probably Mario Party. So those are. I'm taking a guess at Sam's.
I hate you.
You hate Sam.
So I hate you people so much.
Hey, what about me? I had a good list.
You got a good list. You got a good ass list. I don't like Dragon Quest, but I respect you for liking it.
Yeah. No, it's not the top of my list, so it's in there.
Your list is like all AAA except for Eco.
So here's the craziest part.
You got me more interested in Eco than any other game.
I pulled up the entire like list of like 2018 games while I was at work and made a list of every game that I even played for like a minute. Mm-hmm. And I think I had a list of like 26 games or something like that.
Oh, I had over 100.
Yeah, I had a bunch.
I just started chopping them, and it was like, here's Into the Breach. I don't really like Into the Breach. It's gone, like shit like that. And that's the list I had. And the only thing on that list that I knew for sure was going to stay on there, like the first two was like, well, Eco's going on there, Spider-Man's going on there, and then the rest of it will just start chopping and see what I got left, and that's what I got.
That's a good way to do it. I mean, I that's something I did as well. I went through all my reviews for the year. I don't think the only review game that I had that made my list or even come close to it was Gardens Between. Nothing else that I reviewed this year I think was good enough. But then I've been like majority of my time has been sucked up by review games.
Yeah.
Yep. Shit. So let's see here. Smash Brothers, Gardens Between, God of War and Spider-Man.
He says boy real good in that game.
Boy. The problem with me choosing Spider-Man is right now I'm heavily biased towards Spider-Man because Into the Spider-Verse was fucking amazing. And I can't stop talking about it. Have you guys have both seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it, Aaron, because you live 70 miles.
I did. I saw it. Oh,
that's right. You mentioned it. Yeah. I saw you tweeted.
I saw it the other night. So that the friend who showed up drunk, he was like, "We should do something before I go back out to see." And I was like, "What are you doing Thursday? I get paid. Let's go see Spider-Man."
So it's really good.
You liked it?
Yeah, dude. That movie was so good that I want to go see it again, and I never go to see a movie in theaters twice.
Yeah, that is definitely a see it twice in the theaters because it's all just fucking the visuals are awesome. You want to see it on a giant ass screen.
Well, I fucked myself too because there's a scene really early on in the movie where you see Miles Morales's like his contact list on his phone, and right above his dad's name when he goes to call his dad is B. Bendis, who.
Right. Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god! I didn't even think about Easter eggs in this movie."
There's so many of them.
Do
you know Stan Lee is in the movie?
I did. He's a little photograph in the cop station, right?
You know what's funny is when that's there's a I don't want to ruin the movie, but you should have fucking seen it by now, everybody. There is a Stan Lee cameo-ish scene in this. Ish. The entire freaking audience in this sold-out theater that I was in was like openly weeping, like without like you just heard like gasps and people like, "Oh, Stan!" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I felt it. I felt it."
We walked into the movie. The movie started at 9:20. We got into the theater about 9:15. We walked in. It was empty. We were like, "Oh shit! We're gonna have the whole theater ourselves. It means we don't got to be quiet. We can just shoot the shit.
We can fart. We can."
And then right as the last trailer started, two sets of two people walked in, and we were like, "All right, everybody's gonna be quiet because that's just how the shit is here." That's fine. We'll watch the movie. There's only 6 of us. Like nobody's sitting around us. We're all spaced out. It's gonna be perfect. That scene came up, and like this one dude who was sitting like down in the front row went, "Well, that's Stan Lee." Just totally like full volume voice. It's like, yeah, that's man, great. What'd you expect? It's a Marvel movie.
That's radical.
But I really want to see it again.
Yep. It's good. Yeah. It's real good.
And then on the drive home, I had to explain like all of the Spider-Verse stuff. And, like who Spider-Gwen is and who all these other characters are to my friend who didn't know he doesn't know anything except like, oh yeah, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. It's like, oh dog, I'm gonna talk to you for a while.
And he was like, what was that? What did the end credit? The after credit mean? What is this thing? Who is Miles' dad? Why is he a cop?
Yep.
That end. There was some good shit in that movie. Just some good stuff.
My friend's one complaint for the whole movie was he wearing Jordans in that one scene?
Yes,
he totally was. Stick to glass with Jordans on your feet. I'm like, you can't stick to glass at all. Just go with it.
No, that was co-branding because they have the Spider-Man Jordans that they released.
Those are different though. He's wearing Chicago's.
That's true. He's wearing Chicago's. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's tainted my list because that boosts Spider-Man up my list. But at the same time, I can't.
Spider-Man's really good.
It's really good. I haven't fucking played it enough to legitimately throw my weight behind it. Like in the scheme of themes, I've played God of War a hell of a lot more than God of War a hell of a lot more than Spider-Man.
Okay, counterpoint. They're both dad games, and one of them is very good at being a dad game, and the other one's very much not.
That's true.
So vote Spider-Man.
Tom, you're not that you're a tiebreaker, but you're a tiebreaker-ish.
Wait, what
know that whichever one you argue for is the SideQuest game of the year.
I'm gonna start some shit. I'm gonna argue against Spider-Man.
Okay. Oh wow. All right.
I thought we had something special.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. Go for it. Let's hear it.
It's literally them just making a better Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like that's all they did. Like there's nothing.
That was the good one.
There's nothing incredibly interesting or new about it, other than that it's like really good for what it is. But what it is was established fucking 15 years ago.
Well, I mean, story-wise, that's where that game shines, right?
It's pretty good.
I mean, mechanically, yeah, sure. Like the swinging's really good, and the fighting is like, it's Spider-Man Arkham.
I wasn't into the combat super much, and I felt like the camera wasn't great for it.
No, so I mean, when I was playing through that game, like I think the second web power you get is the one where you spin around and
web blossom, yeah.
And I never used any of the other powers. Like I'd unlock new suits, and then I'd wear the suits for a while, and then I'd just use that same power because it would get you through combat faster and get you more of that sweet story.
Yep.
So the only thing, and again, I'm super early in a Spider-Man. The thing that kind of pulls me back a little bit is that because it's so open world, there's a slight little bit of, I don't want to call it grindiness, but almost like a weird mission repetition. Like, you're going to go into an area and it's like, okay, there's going to be a fight here with like 5 dudes. Okay, down this time it's in an alley. Oh, okay, this time it's up on top of these girls. But it's the same. It's like the same fight, and you don't quite get that with God of.
You're like, all right, we have the car. All right, there's a car random event. Someone stole a car. All right, this time they're robbing a place.
Yeah.
This time there's a car accident. I gotta go mash X really hard to lift the car off the person.
So you're totally right, and the counterpoint to that is you get so powerful in that game so very quickly, and once you've got a handle on the web like the advanced quote unquote web swing, is like you land in one of those and it kicks off immediately and you just take everybody down, and then the event ends and gone. Like you just fly from that thing to thing, to the point where it's not so much grinding as just a very quick break in traversal, which is the fun part of that game. Like to the point, like you got to the point where I'm not somebody, I don't really complete games like 100% them. Like I'll collect a bunch of the stuff, eventually I'll get bored and then I'll just finish the game. In this one, I would stop the story missions and just zip around the fucking city and just land and do stuff and go. And like to the point where all of a sudden it was like, I've got the entire southern part of this map cleared because you can just land and grab a thing and go. Like you can land and web everybody and go. Like,
yeah,
like it's so snappy even with the grinding is so snappy. The combat's not good, but there's so many different powers you can use to just either completely annihilate a whole combat scenario or take enough of a dent out of it that you don't really have to do anything. That you don't really get bogged down by it once you start getting once you get those powers and once you figure out your play style. If you're trying to do everything like the stealth challenges are not good. Because those you have to take slow, and if you get caught, then you fail the stealth challenge or whatever. But I mean, that sucks. But the rest of it,
what's worth, you don't have to do you don't have to ace everything to even get the platinum in that game, which is cool.
No, yeah, you just got to do them right.
Yeah,
you have to get the top end rating on one of any challenge in any different category. So you have to do one stealth mission perfectly. Which the very first ones are super easy. You have to do one combat challenge perfect, like stuff like that.
Yeah, like one Taskmaster one perfectly. Yeah. It's not a hard platinum. It's just time consuming.
And the other part about the grindiness is the collectibles in that game. They go back through, and it's just like every collectible has Spider-Man reminiscing because they're all collectibles from his past. And so it's like you land on one, and it's like his notebook from and you open it up and it's like hand drawings of him designing his first suit, and he's just like, oh, I remember when I thought the goggles were a good idea, just like little shit like that, and it's all like voice lines, and you zip off to the next one. Like it's just cool shit like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you, Spider-Man.
Oh man, I'm not gonna fight it. I haven't played it enough to throw my weight behind it, but I will take the L on this one.
I went back and read my review.
I'll be okay with it.
Just to refresh myself on like how into that game.
Your review is pretty fucking phenomenal, by the way.
I just reading that review, I started looking. I checked my email, and I had the email from Sony being like, "Oh, we're doing Boxing Week sales," and I was like, "Fuck, I wonder how much that Spider-Man DLC is." I might just buy that and play through all the DLC.
I've heard it's not great, but I still want to play through all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Anybody else want to argue? I mean, so like,
let me tell you about a game called Destiny 2.
I thought we were done with 2017's game in 2018.
Nope, because we got Forsaken now, and it changes that game completely.
That's what didn't that happen with the original Destiny, OG Destiny?
Yeah, guess what? They just keep improving their products. Who knew?
Yeah. I still love that we played Destiny 2 at E3 this year, and Sam obliterated everybody while he was playing it on the show floor. We had our appointment, and it just kind of snuck Sam along with me, and it was great because I was okay. I was just like, whatever. I managed to make it through the round, but I had Sam on my team, and that was just kind of interesting watching him just literally, decimate the other players on there. And he's like, oh, yeah, they changed a couple things here, but I think it's still pretty competent. I'm like, Sam, you just killed everybody. You opened up new assholes on everybody that you played against. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody had. I'm like, just take it, Sam. Just understand.
I just want to say this is my fourth consecutive game of the year list with Destiny on it.
Yeah, Destiny of the year 2018.
So you had what? Destiny 1, Destiny the Iron Throne or whatever, probably.
Throne, I think it was, yeah.
And then Destiny 2, and now Destiny 2
King,
Forsaken.
Yeah.
Taken King, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And we're totally getting Destiny 3 in 2019, right?
Yeah, gotta.
Yeah.
The first one was delayed. They were supposed to have an every other year release.
So are you guys, if you guys, are you actually going to argue Destiny for Game of the Year? Because I mean, go for it.
No.
If either of you guys want to argue God of War, like now's the time, because I did not play enough of that game to argue against it. Like you guys know how early in that game I quit.
Let me tell you about a sad man named Arthur Morgan.
Arthur Morgan.
And how he is in the actual best game of the year.
You mean Aquaman? Is Arthur Morgan that Arthur from Aquaman?
No.
So the reason Red Dead's not on my list at all, I don't think. Fuck, I don't remember. I don't think Red Dead's on my list.
It's not.
Yeah, so it was there, and I played that game. I came home and I played pretty much every night, and I don't have a problem with the pacing of it so much. Like, that's what that game is. Like, that's just one of those things that you either are gonna deal with it and keep playing it, or you're not. And I played up to about, I think I'm at the tail end of chapter 2.
You ain't even see that game yet, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm at the tail end of chapter 2, and I've got to have 40 hours into that game. And it's just like, I haven't even finished like the Braithwaites and the Greys or whatever the two families are called.
Stuff.
I haven't even finished that. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, the fucking game doesn't even start until chapter 3. Like, chapter 2, you're still in the tutorial. And as soon as people started saying that to me, I'm like, this fucking Final Fantasy 13 again. Oh, the game doesn't start until 35 hours in. It's like, I'm out. And I haven't turned it on since.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm that's one of the games
on
my list.
Game.
No, I haven't finished Red Dead 1. So that's where I'm at. I'm staring at Red Dead Redemption 1 on my wall over here as part of my Xbox One redemption list.
Red Dead Redemption 2 makes Red Dead Redemption 1 better.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was about to say, if we were doing like a best performance category, I would totally give it to the dude that is Arthur Morgan, except for the fact that we watched the fucking VGAs together, and that's just that dude.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of Scottish in real life.
Is he really? Because he got up on that stage, and I was like, is that just his voice?
Watch it again. He has like a Scottish brogue to it.
Oh man. But Yeah, I don't know. I fell off that game hard, and like I haven't even thought about it outside of Game of the Year stuff since I started.
Arthur is my favorite video game protagonist ever.
Really?
His arc is amazing.
So
about how long is the game?
170 hours.
You could finish it in like 35 to 40.
Okay, without going crazy as side quests.
Without going crazy.
Yeah, because I want to play it, but like I said, it's I don't have the time to sit.
It takes a weird fucking turn, my guy, that you do not expect. And you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. Let's see how this plays out. And it's fucking great.
Are you talking about how like Arthur's issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like a Thanos type of thing where he just snaps his fingers and everything?
No, it's way, way, way more human and grounded than that.
Ooh.
You're talking about the cough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that game opens up with you doing some shit, and you don't really think about it, like, because you're a band of outlaws, and you're like, yeah, this is what an outlaw would do, and that basically sets the stage for like the back third of that game, I think.
It's super good.
And you're just like, holy shit. Like I looked into that because I was like in researching for this kind of stuff, I was like, man, that's bold.
Yeah, it is buck wild. And for a studio that has no talent in the past of handling anything with tact or nuance.
You beat that game, right?
Yeah, I beat that game.
Which ending for him did you get, good or bad?
I got I got the best good ending.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because
that's not the road I was going down.
Yeah. But yeah, they write that game really good for that type of scenario. Like the stuff that happens around it, especially things that you did really early in that game coming back around in those final hours is super interesting. And also just watching that gang fall apart to see how it becomes what it does in Red Dead 1.
As Dutch slowly transitions into the fucking lunatic he is in Red Dead 1.
Yeah. He goes from Robin Hood character to cult leader in a slow, like, it's kind of like boiling a frog alive, like that old thing where like you don't actually notice a lot of it. There are a few times where like he'll do something and you're like, oh, but for the most part it is a super slow, gradual descent to madness.
The first one of those happens before where I stopped playing, and they immediately undercut it with a fishing trip, and you're just like, oh, this guy's still great.
Yeah. No, yeah, they do a lot at like letting you know, like, oh, fuck this guy. Yeah. Like, they turn him into a fucking irredeemable monster by the end of that thing. It's fucking awesome. Especially considering, like, the later events of Red Dead Redemption 1. It gives a lot of context to those. That now I watch those interactions of, like, John confronting Dutch and, like, John confronting Bill Williams and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, like, this means something now.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
It's really funny too, just because like if you've played Red Dead 1, like you know these characters for the most part because like a third of the gang are the antagonists of that game.
Yeah.
And you're just like, these guys obviously have history. This dude, like in Red Dead 1, like, oh, this dude's like standing on top of a fucking castle yelling at you, and then he puts a bullet in you and you almost die. And it's like, I don't understand what's going on between these guys. I'm gonna kill that guy. Obviously, because he shot me, so fuck him. But this game is just like, oh, he's a giant asshole, and now I see why they don't get along.
There's the set pieces in that game are fucking great as well. A lot of them take from like pretty directly from like old westerns and whatnot. Like there's a scene very early on that Aaron, you should have seen when you do the first or second train robbery. And there's a shot on there where like you park a wagon on the track.
That's the first one.
And it's literally almost shot for shot the train robbery scene from the assassination of Jesse James.
Oh shit.
It's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that game has a ton of cool little detail that there are some questionable labor processes with how it got made that way. But
I think I've said it on the podcast before. I love everything about that game except playing it.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird systems in place, but there's so many fucking systems in place also. Like, it's a lot. Like, there's a lot going on in that game.
It's deep.
Yeah. I'm actually about to dive back into it. I was listening to a bunch of year-end stuff. I probably put 60 hours into that game. There's a bunch of weird shit that you can just miss. Apparently, there's a pirate ship in that game.
Oh, really?
You can get a pirate hat, and like if you walk around town with the pirate hat on, people will make fun of you for it. I want that hat.
There's a bunch of different like weird outfits like that. I didn't know about the pirate one. There's a conquistador outfit.
Oh, badass!
With like the Spanish conquistador like helmet and stuff like that. That I'm pretty sure you can get in that game.
I helped a Nikola Tesla stand-in make a robot. That happened. There's a ton of other weird shit I didn't see. And there's apparently a whole sub-quest line that you could completely miss with vampires in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I'm pretty sure the Yeti's in that game.
Yeah, there's a time traveler in that game.
What the fuck?
It's fucking wild. You meet this dude just out in the woods, and he's just looking and talking to you like he's from BioShock.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I am surprised that Fallout 76 didn't make our list. Battlefield.
I mean, that's a solid number 11.
Just when you edit my my year-end thing, I'll look over and re-edit my my Red Dead point because there are spoilers in there, so I don't want you to.
Yeah, go ahead, do that first, and then
I have a warning at the top, so I'll go over Red Dead. You just do everything else.
Okay, sounds good. So I guess we're gonna say that it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Is this decided? Do we want to throw this into the old work Discord and let the rest of the unwashed masses fight over it?
This is the game of the SideQuest 2018.
I'm writing. It's been decided. The game of the side.
How many eyes did you put in there?
8.
Hell yeah.
5 is Spider-Man.
Come on, TweetDeck, fucking load before Dally finishes this.
No, I just posted it in our Discord.
Oh.
Yeah. So I will do the tweet. I will do the tweet right now from the side questing account. It has been decided.
Did we want to cover any other games before? Do we have
Dragon Ball FighterZ?
Yeah, so I haven't played this game, and this is one of those games that it's just like I fucking really want to play that game.
So I started out my point in my thing. It's like, yo, they did it. They made a good Dragon Ball fighting game. And holy shit, did they make a good Dragon Ball fighting game.
I picked it up on the Switch, and I'm hella excited to play it.
It is.
It's actually pretty good there, too.
Yeah. They do so much with making it incredibly easy for someone like Dolly to pick up and play and have fun with. Even including like auto combo stuff for new players that still manages to be balanced. Like they tweak the damage values to make it like balanced so I could play normally and Dolly could play like with assists and it would still be fair. It's super fun and easy to pick up, but like once you dig down deep into it, it's super complex and technical.
Wow.
It's awesome. Yeah. And it's one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
So my history with Dragon Ball fighting games, I used to play all the old shitty ones. And I think the most recent one that I ever played was, I think, Budokai 3.
Budokai 3, yeah. Not to be confused with Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
By the way, Jeff Grubb writes in the YouTube chat, he says, I like it. Spider-Man felt like always a bridesmaid until y'all showed up like a single dad in a Hallmark movie and put a ring on it.
I came into this fight like for weeks now. I've just been like, I got to get in there. I'm gonna fight for Spider-Man. But no, so in Budokai 3, the characters are stronger or weaker depending on which character they are. So like the Super Saiyans are pretty much always going to be stronger than like the regular people. And I made a point to I would only play as Bardock, Goku's dad, who's not a Super Saiyan, but he has a counter that if you press it was like triangle and circle to any move. If you got the timing down, it would go into like a 35-second cutscene that did no damage, but it would land every time and you couldn't skip cutscenes. So I just got really good at Bardock, and then I would make, when people would play me, I'd be like, all right, I'll pick Bardock, and then just hit them with that like 100 times in a match. And that was the last Dragon Ball fighting game I ever played.
Hey, guess what? You can play as Bardock again.
All right. Fucking not gonna buy this game.
Dude, there are so many Gokus in this game.
There are so many Gokus.
I heard they're up to like 6 Gokus now.
So you got Goku in regular Super Saiyan, and you have Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, and you have Goku Black, all just from the get-go. Then for DLC, you unlock, what's his name? You pay to unlock regular Goku.
Nice.
And then you have Vegito, who's half a Goku.
That's true. Is Gogeta in it? The other one that's half a Goku?
I don't think he's there yet. But you also have Bardock, who's basically Goku.
He looks like Goku, except vaguely sinister, but he's actually a good dude.
Yeah. So there are a lot of Gokus in this game. I think that you're at a point where you could have 2 full teams of different Gokus.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good as hell.
The game is 60% off on Steam right now, and I'm just like, I could skip some meals. Yeah. I could buy the Ultimate Edition.
I can skip some meals.
Which the Ultimate Edition is the way to go, because that DLC is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to pay $2.99 Canadian for SSGSS Goku and SSGSS Vegeta unlock?
Wait, SSGSS, they're not already in there?
Super Saiyan Gods. I'm assuming that's Super Saiyan
Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Apparently not. That's DLC. That's downloadable content.
Oh, I think that was I think you get it because I had a day 1 edition and they include that.
Bardock is a piece of DLC all on his own and costs fucking $6.49.
Very interesting thing about this game. Not like the quality of it and anything, but it was just really weird to have a fighting game be sent out on Xbox, like as review.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not used to that at all. Like, I'm used to everyone being like, it's on PlayStation because fucking look at this D-pad. But no, that game's great. Everyone should play it. It got me back into fighting games in a way that I haven't in over a decade. I think it speaks a lot that it went from being a brand new game at the end of January to being one of the biggest events at EVO.
It eclipsed fucking Street Fighter.
Yep.
Did it really?
No one was talking about Street Fighter after EVO.
Not only was nobody talking about Street Fighter, but if you were watching the streams, it was a packed hall for Dragon Ball, and then they just started leaving when Street Fighter was the finale.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Well, there you have it, everybody. We did it. Spider-Man.
I won.
Spider-Man. Also, Tetris Effect fucks, and everyone should play that game.
I really want to play that game, but I don't want to play that game until I get VR.
It's better without.
I believe that, but I hear it's pretty good in VR.
It's pretty good in VR.
It's pretty good in VR. It's pretty damn good in VR. We've got a lot of shit coming on. I think we'll do like maybe a 2019 pre-game.
We're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm going to try to explain the lore to all of you.
So we'll do that, I think, next week.
Don't we have somebody on staff that really fucking loves Kingdom Hearts? Is that you, Tom?
We have like 3 people that really love fuck Kingdom Hearts.
Did I ever tell you my Kingdom Hearts story?
What, that it sucks? I mean, I played all of them. It's a bad series.
No,
but you continue to play all of them.
Maybe.
I'm not like Corey, who will be like, it's the best series ever.
No, so I got super, super, super sick the day that I played one of the Kingdom Hearts for the first time, to the point where I can't remember it. The only thing I remember is being in this crazy like fugue state, and I was pretty sure I was fighting a castle that turned into a dragon. Is that a thing?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I remember correctly.
That's all I remember about Kingdom Hearts, and like Goofy and Donald are in it, and fuck those guys.
Yeah, they suck.
Oh, I forgot to mention. So I did fucking the first Pokemon game I ever beat. I just beat in Let's Go Pikachu.
Jesus fucking
that's
Christ,
good. And then I also I've started playing Gris. How do you whatever?
I think it's
Gris. Yeah, that's a beautiful game. That game's unbelievably gorgeous. It's on Switch. It's on Steam, I think, as well, right? Is it on anything else yet?
No, it's just
totally worth getting that game. It's just a puzzle game. It's totally chill.
It's cool as hell, though.
It's cool as hell. I didn't want to put on any game of the year list because it's still. I mean, it's not a very long game. It's just kind of a cool experience. But totally check it out if you have a Switch. I mean, just fucking buy this game. It's totes worth it. I think it's on sale for like $15 or something right now. Yeah, totally worth it. Totally worth it. That's it. I'm gonna close this down now because I'm gonna go see Vice in a little bit here.
I hear it's good.
Which look at dope as hell. Looks dope. Yeah.
They find you, Dolly.
What?
Where could they find you? You're stumbling.
Yeah, I know. I'm the Blanton's is hitting me, so I have to sober up a little bit before I hit the road. The movie starts at 11. I'll be okay.
Okay.
You can find me at Dolly Demovsky on Twitter, on Twitch. You can find Sam who cares about Sam, actually? I always say you can find Sam, but he's never fucking here. What about you?
Tell him next week. We're in a new month, and he'll have a new monthly tweet.
Yeah, his monthly tweet and his monthly appearance on the SideQuest. Oh, by the way, congrats, Sam.
Yeah,
congrats.
Hope you like having no money.
Yeah.
So that motherfucker, he ain't make tweets, but he posts on Facebook and Instagram all the time.
Yes, he does. Homeboy does.
I logged into Instagram for the first time in like 6 months.
Speaking of somebody who put a ring on it. Where can we find you, Aaron?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at ScrattyBones.
Very nice. Where can we find you, Thomas?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at that Tom Johnson.
Also, a big shout out to Insomniac Games for quoting us. They were happy that we chose Spider-Man. So,
wait, what?
Insomniac just shot us a message. Says thanks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like on their review page or something. I was like, no, they didn't.
No, they just shot us a message.
Scared the shit out of me for a minute there.
No, so we'll repost the your review and go from there. But yeah, good times, everybody. We'll see you on the next SideQuest. We love you. SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the Twitches and on YouTubes and all that fun stuff. So, bye. Love you.
Peace.
Yo, Aaron.
Hey, what's up?